Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Sam. First at 4, murder charges have been filed against 5 teenagers suspected of throwing rocks from an overpass down on I-75 last Wednesday. One of the rocks went through a car's windshield and killed the passenger, 32-year-old Kenneth White. All 5 suspects are 17 or younger and attend Clio High School. They're charged with second-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and other crimes. We'll hear from the Genesee County Sheriffs about the case coming up on News 10 at 5. Other stories trending right now include a 3-year-old boy who's now fighting for his life after falling from the bleachers of a high school football game. According to witnesses, the boy fell through a gap near the top of the bleachers Saturday afternoon at Davidson Middle School. He was sitting with his mother watching an older brother's game. He's been listed in critical condition while Davidson police continue their investigation. Well, the Weinstein Company is now under investigation for possible civil rights violations. New York's attorneys general subpoenaed all company records today. More than 3 dozen women have accused co-founder Harvey Weinstein of sexual harassment. The movie production company fired him earlier this month. Now the attorney general wants to know if any employees at the New York office were sexually harassed or discriminated against. Ingham County is working on a new way to get prescription painkillers off the streets. Today, the sheriff's office told us more than 200 pill bottles were left in drop-off bins placed at 6 high school football games in August, September, and October. They then plan on partnering with local businesses where people can drop off opioids and other pills on specific days. We'll let you know when the sheriff announces exact dates and locations. Well, so much for the deadline requiring Flint to choose a long-term water source today. The judge in the case is giving the city-county until tomorrow. Governor Rick Snyder's administration is trying to force the city to approve a 30-year deal with the Great Lakes Water Authority. Flint's water agreed and the mayor agreed as well, but the city council says they need more information before making a move. Also making a move is First Lady Melania Trump. She chose Michigan as the place to launch her anti-bullying campaign. She had lunch with students at a middle school in Oakland County today to highlight the Nobody Eats Alone program. The idea is to reduce social isolation by getting kids to eat with different groups of people. This is the first step in her Week of Inclusion campaign. Well, a military judge will decide Wednesday if President Trump has made it impossible.
Here, there's not going to be jail time. It's incredible. You know, 50 years ago, what would have happened? Boom.
Bergdahl's lawyer says he can't get a fair hearing when the commander-in-chief is on the record saying things like this. The judge overseeing his case says the president's comments haven't swayed him, but he is concerned about the perception of fairness. Bergdahl deserted his post in Afghanistan in 2009 and was held hostage by the Taliban for 5 years. He turned down a chance to withdraw his guilty plea today. Now, the Federal Drug Enforcement Task Force that usually go after drug cartels is instead targeting a street gang. Today, Attorney General Jeff Sessions said MS-13 is now the task force's priority. MS-13 is based out of the Central American nation of El Salvador. It has a reputation for being one of the most violent street gangs in the world. The Attorney General says the feds will use every law at their disposal to lock its members up.
To get MS-13 off the streets.
Now you hear it there. Now the task force uses agencies from all over the federal government, including Postal Service inspectors, the IRS, and the Labor Department. That is in addition to FBI, DEA, and the U.S. Marshal Services. Well, runners, do you ever worry about self-defense when you're exercising? How about the attempted kidnapping of a woman in Michigan has people talking and taking a look at different ways to protect themselves? Next in today's Top Talkers. But first, a live look at your time-saver traffic. The highway surrounding Lansing and Jackson look all clear for your early evening travels. If that changes, we'll be sure to update you in the newscast. Conversation on our Facebook page and let us know what you think. Well, on a much lighter note, a newlywed couple got a big surprise when pop star Katy Perry crashed their wedding. Take a look at Perry and bride Haley Rosenblum getting down over the weekend. Perry was in St. Louis for a concert and decided to pop into the reception for about 10 minutes. She danced, posed for a few pictures, and then took off, presumably on a dark horse. Well, there's a lot more news ahead at 5 and 6. Ann is here with a preview of it all. Happy Monday, Ann.
Happy Monday, Joe. happy Monday, everyone. Big changes this week, we'll tell you. We will see you right back here at the top of the hour.
Well, thanks, Ann, for that. Looking forward to it. And speaking of the rain, you guys, it's been falling down, and it may not be going anywhere anytime soon. Andy tells us how much more rain is coming and when it may get cold enough to turn into actual snow. That's coming up in 5 minutes. But first, a new layer of protection from a pretty horrible disease. We'll tell you about a shingles vaccine that test results say is more effective next on First at 4. Well, shingles can cause immense pain, make you go blind or deaf, and can even cause a stroke. So it's good news that the FDA has approved a new vaccine that studies show is more effective than the current one. Shingrix will be available for adults 50 and older by the end of the year. Shingles comes from the same virus that causes chickenpox and only affects people who've already had chickenpox. And sticking to political news, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson made surprise trips to both Afghanistan and Iraq today as he tries to build support for the fight against ISIS. But he also has another mission that's getting less attention. NBC's Matt Bradley tells us why he's working so hard. Well, Andy, a lot of people are saying rain, rain, go away, but that's not going to be happening anytime soon.
No, unfortunately, we're now in a pattern because we changed back to normal fall that we're going to see rain not only this bunch, but there's more set up the rest of the week. Yeah, unfortunately, radars are busy. Take a look at Doppler radar.
Thanks, Andy, for that. Now, the really unfortunate part about today's rain is that it delayed the annual trick-or-treat on the square. Now, this is video from last year's event in downtown Lansing. It's been rescheduled for 5 to 7:30 p.m. on Thursday. Now, Andy, what's the possibility of the flooding happening in mid-Michigan, and what areas are going to get it the worst?
Well, the west side of the state we just talked about has all that heavy rain there, and that's where it'll continue. We're still going to get a good soaking rain. Thursday's a good pick, by the way, for going back out with the trick-or-treaters. Probably the only dry day of the week. And the real Halloween Tuesday doesn't look any better. We got a cold front coming in that day. We're going to get some windy and cold conditions. Here's how the rainfall pattern looks like on the map, exactly how much rain can fall here.
A third grader who is legally blind has received national recognition. Brooke Schweeder explains.
So if we think back to last art class,
Well, that's going to do it for us here on First at 4. Great news for her.
Yeah, that was outstanding.
Awesome. You guys have a great day, and make sure you join us back here again tomorrow.
Much more on the rainfall. It's certainly coming down now. We got more tonight, scattered throughout the week, and prepare for the chill, too. We'll talk a lot of weather coming up at 5 o'clock.